بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And welcome to another session of التعبير القرآني by Dr. Fadil Saleh Samirai, where we are going through his book التعبير القرآني, and we are currently on chapter 2. We are starting page 28 today. We had finished page 27 yesterday. So inshallah, today we look at page 28 and we'll see how far we can be able to go with this page. And again, just to recap, Dr. Fadil is just suggesting this idea that there's a reason why an ism is used and the reason why a fi'l is used. Sometimes it has to do with the context, or sometimes it has to do with the meaning, that something, a jumla ismiya, it has to do with permanence, with establishment, with something that is set, if you will. And then a jumla fi'liya, it has some to do with something that is renewing, recurring, regenerating, and so on and so forth. So that's the discussion that we are in. All right. Is there anybody who wants to participate and read? So we're going to start for the next new page. From من ذلك. Yes, Arshi.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من ذلك قوله تعالى: وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى لا يتبعوكم سواء عليكم أدعوتموهم أم أنتم صامتون. ففرق بين طرفي التسوية فقال: أدعوتموهم بالفعل. ثم قال: أنتم صامتون بالاسم، ولم يسوي بينهما، ولم يقل أدعوهم أم صامتون.
Okay. Could you repeat from فلم يقل? I think I lost you a little bit.
فلم يقل أدعوتموهم أم صمتم.
Yes.
بالفعلية، أو أأنتم دعوهم أم صامتون.
Sorry, Tom. All right, great. Let's look at this part a little bit and then we'll see if we can be able to add on later. We can finish this first. All right, so من ذلك قوله تعالى: وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى لا يتبعكم سواء عليكم أدعوتموهم أم أنتم صامتون. ففرق بين طرفي التسوية فقال: أدعوتموهم بالفعل، ثم قال: أم أنتم صامتون بالاسم، ولم يسوي بينهما، فلم يقل أدعوتموهم أم صمتم بالفعلية، أو أأنتم داعوهم أم صامتون. Of course, بالاسمية here, it's understood. Right? So what is Dr. Fadil saying? So Dr. Fadil moves on to another ayah to give another example of his argument. What he's talking about. When a jumla ismiya is used, when a jumla fi'liya is used, what are the implications? So he's giving more evidence to this idea that jumla fi'liya is used when there is renewal, reoccurrence, regeneration. And jumla ismiya is used when a matter is established or there's continuity in a matter or permanence in a matter, if you will. So من ذلك قوله تعالى. So now he presents this ayah in Surah Al-A'raf. وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى لا يتبعوكم. And if you were to call them to guidance, they will not follow you. Or if you call them to guidance, they will not follow you. سواء عليكم أدعوتموهم أم أنتم صامتون. It is the same upon you, or it is the same for you. أدعوتموهم, whether you call on them or you remain silent, right? Then he says, فَفَرَّقَ بَيْنَ طَرَفَيِ التَّسْوِيَةِ فَقَالَ. So he distinguished, or he separated, or he differed. He distinct. He made a distinction. He distinguished. That's what. So he distinguished between the two sides of the equation. So طرفين, because it's a mudaf, it became طرفي. طرفي التسوية, the two sides of the equation, if you will, right? فقال, so he said, أدعوتموهم بالفعل. When he, on one side of the equation, so what part is he talking about? He's talking about this part. This is the part he's talking about. Okay. That part. أدعوتموهم أم أنتم صامتون. So that you can see the first part of the taswiyah. So there's two sides of the equation. There's the first part of the equation and there's the second part of the equation. This is the first part of the equation, part A, if you will, right? And then you have which comes between two sides of the equation, and then you have part B. So he's saying in part A, he brought it with a fi'al. أدعوتموهم. دعا يدعو. Yeah, that's what was used. It was used, a fi'al was used. ثم قال أم أنتم سامتون بالاسم. Then on the second part B, he used an ism. فلم يقل, he did not say أدعوتموهم أم صمتم بالفعلية. So we expected Hamza to taswiya, this or this, to be the same. If I say, did you play or did you sleep? Right? Hamza to taswiya. Yeah, did you play or did you sleep? فعل. Is this a book or a pen? Ism on both sides. I'm comparing two things. So I'm comparing similar things. That's what we expected. We expected that because the first, on part A, he used the fi'al, we expected that part B would also be a fi'al because he's comparing two things, right? But now you realize that he's comparing sleep with a book. Well, it's similar, but he's comparing a fi'al with an ism. So how is that possible? And we know that Hamza to Taswiya is also one of the, should I mention? Okay, let's just mention. Hamza to Taswiya is also one of the adatul of what are they called? The things that make masdar mu'awwal. What did we call them? Let me do the revision as well. Compound ism. What are they called? Huruf masdariya. Yeah. The huruf masdariya, the huruf that make masdar. You can see Hamza to Taswiya is one of them. It makes a masdar. What does that mean? That means it comes with a fi'al. It comes with a fi'al. أذهبت أم رجعت? Did you come or did you go? Right? أأكلت أم نمت? Did you eat or did you sleep? Right? Let's see what examples we have here. And it mostly comes with سواء, as you can see here, or لا أبالي. لا أبالي أذهبت أم رجعت? I don't care if you come or you go. Or if you go or you come, I don't care. سواء عليك دراستك أم لم تدرس? Okay, so this is what we are saying, like it comes with a فعل. أدرست أم لم تدرس? We expect فعل. But now we have a situation where we have Hamza to Taswiya, which forms a masdar mu'awwal, but it's coming with an ism. So what's going on in this particular sentence is what Dr. Fadil is trying to figure out. So you can clearly see that it wasn't ism and ism, and it wasn't fi'al and fi'al. It wasn't da'awtumuhum am samattum, and it wasn't antum da'uhum in an ismiya am samitun in an ismiya. So it was different, right? So now that is what he's trying to explain. What is the reason behind this? Why did Allah choose silence for ism and he used calling for a verb, or inviting them, calling them upon to guidance and inviting them upon Islam? Why did he use that in a verbal form? Is that clear? What is going on in this passage? All right, fantastic. So let's try and do the i'rab of this. And then we can go ahead and figure out what Dr. Fadil is saying. So من ذلك, what is min harf jar? ذلك اسم مجرور. So together jar majroor. And that is why we look ahead and we see قوله. قوله is an ism. So this is a مبتدا and this is a متعلق بالخبر. That is مقدم. So من ذلك قوله تعالى. Right? Okay, so from that, we have another example. So he's giving another example, like I said. And what is the example? Is this ayah from Surah Ali Al-A'raf. Sorry, I was thinking Ali Imran. Al-A'raf. Right. And of course, we figured out this. We talked about this kind of structure, I think, last time. Did we? We had a similar structure. من ذلك. Yeah, فمن ذلك قوله تعالى. Right? A similar structure. So MBK قوله is the mubtada and everything that comes after it will be al-khabar. So this ayah is a khabar في محل رفع. Right? Okay. Then we go into, there's a bracket here that is quoting a book. Let's see what book it's quoting. I think, what is 21? الكشاف معاني الأبنية. Okay. Apparently. So he says ففرق بين طرفي التسوية. فرق is a فعل, right? فعل ماضي. فرق علم family. So a فعل is فرق. فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. So this is a فعل. And then بين طرفي التسوية, the whole thing. بين is a special مضاف. طرفي is مضاف إليه, but it's also a مضاف. And then التسوية is a مضاف إليه. So that whole bucket becomes a متعلق بالفعل. Right? And then فقال, so فا عاطفة, connecting this sentence to that previous sentence. So he said, and then قال is a complete جملة فعلية, فعل and فاعل. And then أدعوتموهم, what is أدعوتموهم? Is the مقول القول في محل نسب مفعول به of قال. So this is a مفعول به. And then بالفعل متعلق بالفعل. ثم, again حرف عطف, connecting that sentence, this sentence of قال to this sentence of قال. Right? ثم قال, again قال is a simple جملة فعلية with فعل and فاعل, and the inside pronoun is the فاعل, and of course whatever is in the bracket مقول القول is the مفعول به of قال, just like previously, just like the previous sentence. And then بالاسم, again this is our متعلق بالفعل. Okay, I don't know why my F's are so weird like this. Then واو, you have حرف عطف واو connecting ولم يسوي, this part, with the previous sentence. Okay, so فرق ولم يسوي بينهما. So this one goes all the way to the beginning. So he didn't mention this, rather he did not equate them, he did not make them equal. Right? ولم يسوي, lam, we know it's حرف جزم, and it makes the مضارع مجزوم, and that's why it's not يسوي, it's يسوي. The ya that was here was removed because it is مجزوم. So these are فعل, and the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو, and then of course بينهما is a special مضاف. So this is a متعلق بالفعل. Right? Then you have فا حرف عطف connecting this lam to this lam. So فلم يقل, again يقل is مجزوم, it's not يقول. يقول became يقل. So these are فعل, and our فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. Alright? And of course أدعوتموهم أم صمتم بالفعلية. Sorry, that part where you have أدعوتموهم أم صمتم here. This is a مفعول به في محل نسب مقول القول of يقل, just like the previous sentence. And then بالفعلية, this is a متعلق بالفعل. Right? I hope so far we are together, because again these are not very difficult. It's simple فعل فاعل مفعول به متعلق بالفعل type of sentences. أو, so this is another connector. This is another حرف عطف connecting this sentence, the previous sentence, to the sentence coming after it. So he did not say this and he did not say this, right? So أأنتم, so it's connecting this أدعوتموهم with أأنتم, right? So you need, and then أأنتم, of course, here at the beginning, this is Hamzatul Taswiyah, the one we are talking about. And then أنتم is the mubtada, داعوهم is the khabar, and then it's another harf atuf that always comes with Hamzatul Taswiyah. So when you have sentences, you have Essentially, this Hamzatul Taswiyah is essentially Hamzatul Istifham. It's a questioning Hamza, but it comes with all right? And then Samitun, so this is harf atif, and then this is the ma'tuf, the thing added, ma'tuf to da'uhum. This is ma'tuf to da'uhum. Any questions, clarifications? Are we good so far? Okay, great. So let's go ahead and see how much we can be able to cover of the next paragraph. Let's see here in the chat. Yeah, alhamdulillah, fantastic. Okay, Abshi, you want to continue reading?
Yeah. بسم الله. وذلك أن الحالة الثابتة للإنسان هي الصمت. وإنما يتكلم بسبب يعرض له.
بسبب
يعرض له.
يعرض. So you're using أسلم family.
Yeah.
What is that? Okay, I don't know why. Okay, I don't know what in أسلم family it means, but if probably it's the
يعرض.
same.
يعرض.
يعرض.
يعرض. Okay.
Yeah, just simple. What's it called? ضرب family. عرض يعرض.
Okay. ولو رأيت إنسانا يتكلم نفسه
نفسه.
اتهمته في عقله.
لاتهمته.
في عقله.
Exactly.
فالكلام طارئ. I don't know what this word is.
طارئ.
طارئ. فالكلام طارئ. يحدثه الإنسان لسبب.
Wait. You said يحدث? No, not يحدث.
يحدث.
Yes.
يحدثه الإنسان لسبب يعرض له. ولذا لم يسوي بينهما.
Exactly.
بل جاء للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة بالاسم. صامتون. وجاء للدلالة على الحالة الطارئة للفعل دعوتموهم. أي أحدثتم لهم.
أحدثتم لهم. Did we lose you again or?
أحدثتم لهم دعاء أم بقيتم على حالكم.
بقيتم على حالكم من الصمت. let's do the entire paragraph. Let's see if we can be able to do all the way to the end of the paragraph. So جاء. Oh, we had lost Arshi. Okay, she's back. Okay, great. Arshi, maybe you can read the whatever is remaining. Let's try and finish the paragraph and then we'll continue from there, hopefully. You're mute, so you need to unmute.
Oh, sorry. جاء في الكشاف في هذه الآية. إن قيل هلا قيل.
Yes. هلا قيل.
هلا قيل أم شمتم. ولما وضعت الجملة الاسمية موضع الفعلية.
ولما وضعت الجملة الاسمية موضع الفعلية. Exactly. All right, so let's read this through and then we can begin. وذلك أن الحالة الثابتة للإنسان هي الصمت، وإنما يتكلم لسبب يعرض له. ولو رأيت إنسانا يكلم نفسه لاتهمته. يتهم أنت لاتهمته في عقله، فالكلام طارئ يحدثه الإنسان لسبب يعرض له، ولذا لم يسوي بينهما، بل جاء للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة بالاسم الصامتون، يعني صامتون، وجاء للدلالة على الحال الطارئة بالفعل دعوتموهم، أي أحدثتم لهم دعاء أم بقيتم على حالكم من الصمت. جاء في الكشاف في هذه الآية إن قيل هلا قيل أم صمتم، ولما وضعت الجملة الاسمية موضع الفعلية. So what is he saying in this paragraph? He's saying, so he presented an ayah and he said, well, the first part of the equation is in fi'liya and the second part of the equation is in ismiya. So why? That is because the permanent or the established state of human beings is silence. That is our normal state, if you will. The normal state or the continuous state of a human being is silence. If you're not doing anything, you're silent, right? I'll give you an example to be able to understand what Dr. Fadel is saying here. Say you are in a clinic, you're waiting to see a doctor. When you're in that clinic, you're waiting to see a doctor, or you're in the hospital, you're waiting to see the doctor. Is your normal state, are you just continuously talking, or is everybody continuously talking? You're quiet. Everybody's quiet. Yeah? And so he says, فالكلام طارئ يحدثه الإنسان لسبب يعرض له. Speech, talking, is something incidental. It's something that is contingent upon another thing happening for them. Like there has to be a reason for you to talk. You don't just talk for the sake of talking. If you talk for the sake of talking, then people will call you insane. ولو رأيت إنسانا يكلم نفسه لاتهمته في عقله. If you saw a person who's just speaking and continuously speaking non-stop, you'd call him insane. That's what you would do, because the normal, the established state of human beings as far as speech or no speech is concerned is silence. That is our normal state. That is our established state. So you need a reason for you to speak. For example, if you're in that waiting bay, you're waiting to see the doctor, and then you look at or you want to know what time it is, then you look at your neighbor and you say, hey, what's the time? How much time do you have? Right? So what's the time? You have a reason now to speak. It's not like you're just speaking for the sake of speaking. There is a reason. Even when you go to the most noisiest place where everybody's speaking, the market, you would find that everybody has a reason for speaking. They're not just speaking for the sake of speaking, or they're not speaking because that's their established state or their normal state. They're speaking because they want to attract you. They want you to buy their stuff. They want to make money. They're in business. So there's a reason for speaking. Always there's a reason for speaking. You don't just speak for the sake of speaking. Yeah, some people do. It's true. Some people, yeah, that's their crazy scale is closer to insanity. So some people just speak for the sake of speaking. May Allah protect us. But if you look at majority of the people, our normal established state is silence. Unless we have a reason to speak, then we speak, right? So that's what Dr. Fadil is saying. So that's the meaning of this entire passage. And he goes on to bring evidence from Al-Kashaf by Az-Zamakhshari, where in Al-Kashaf, he raises a hypothetical question. So he says, if somebody said, why not say am samattum? Why not use the fi'l version of it? So you had da'awtumuhum, that's on one side of the equation. Why not say am samattum on the other side of the equation? Yeah. Why was the jumla ismiya placed in the position of a jumla fi'liya? Because we expected دعوتموهم am samattum. That's what we expected. So Zamakhshari raises an important, or rather a hypothetical question in his book Al-Kashaf, and he goes on to answer that question in the next paragraph. قلت لأنهم, he goes on to answer that, and I think we'll come to that later on. So is that part clear, what Dr. Fadil is saying? You know. All right. Okay. So let's look at the i'rab of this. وذلك, this is our مبتدأ. أن الحالة الثابتة للإنسان هي الصمت. So whatever comes after it is a khabar, and then we have to figure out where the khabar ends, and then inside that khabar we have a jumla ismiya again. So أن الحالة الثابتة, this is موصوف صفة, you can clearly see. So this is our مبتدأ bucket, because أن and its اسم مبتدأ bucket, right? And then of course الثابتة is the صفة to الحالة. للإنسان جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر, right? And then you have here. What is here? This is here الصمت. So you can look at it again as this here الصمت. That whole jumla is the khabar of أن. And inside that jumla ismiya is again another mubtada and a khabar. And together they form the khabar of أن الحالة الثابتة. All right? So it's just jumla ismiya inside a jumla ismiya inside a jumla ismiya, like a Russian doll type of situation happening here. You remove one and then you have another jumla ismiya and then another jumla ismiya happening. And then he goes on to say, وَإِنَّمَا يَتَكَلَّمُ لِسَبَبٍ يَعْرِضُ لَهُ. And only, إِنَّمَا, we talked about this, كافة مكفوفة, before we mentioned it. So it means only, and you have to figure out where to put it in the sentence. يتكلم, هو يتكلم. So this is our فعل and our فاعل. So فعل plus فاعل inside there. لسبب, جار مجرور متعلق بالفعل. Okay. لسبب is نكرة بعدها الجملة. So يعرض له is the صفة to لسبب. And then that جملة فعلية, sorry, يعرض له. يعرض is a فعل, and it comes with lam to mean present, to mean arise, to mean demonstrate. So عرض له, he presented to him. It comes in the Quran as well, or he showed them, or he exhibited, demonstrated. This is عرض له. It comes with lam, all right? It's married to lam for that meaning. So arising, to showcase something, yeah? So he speaks for a reason that arises for him, that a reason that demonstrates for him, that comes, that is showcased for him or something like that. Like it's, you can even read this in مجهول form, I think. You can say وإنما يتكلم لسبب يعرض له, for a reason that is presented to him, that is demonstrated to him, that is that arised for him, or arose. I think that's the English word, that arose for him, right? So you can look at it as also مجهول يعرض. All right. So a human being only speaks for a reason that arises for him. ولو رأيت إنسانا يكلم نفسه لاتهمته في عقله. ولو, what is لو? أداة الشرط. So we know when we're going to أداة الشرط, this جملة شرطية, we have the أداة الشرط, we have the جملة الشرط, the فعل الشرط, and we have the جواب الشرط. So this is our أداة الشرط. And then رأيت, this is a فعل شرط, but it's ماضي, so you can't see that it is مجزوم because it's ماضي. And then رأيت ماذا? When you see what? You see a human being, so this is مفعول به, right? رأيت إنسانا. إنسانا, it's نكرة بعدها الجملة, so this sentence here is a صفة to إنسانا, right? And then that sentence يكلم, كلم يكلم, that's a فعل, and the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو, and then يكلم من, he's talking to who? نفسه, so this is مفعول به, talking to himself. Okay, what would you do? So this whole part that we just discussed, that was a short part, the condition part. So if you saw a person talking to themselves, what would happen, or what would you do, or what would arise from that? لاتهمته في عقلي. Literally, this means you would accuse him in his mind. You would accuse him in or about his mind or regarding his mind. In other words, you would call him crazy. لاتهمته في عقلي. All right. So this lam is lamul jawab because لو comes with lam. Remember, لو لا. اتهم يتهم, to accuse somebody. So لاتهمته. Sorry, لاتهمت. Why? أنت لاتهمت. We were right in the beginning and then I just messed it up. And then you guys didn't stop me. You guys were just listening to my mistakes. Anyway. Yeah, if I make mistakes, guys, you stop me and correct me. Yeah. I was like, what? لاتهمته. I would, no. لاتهمته. You would, because أنت رأيت. لو رأيت. Yeah. لاتهمته في عقله. You would accuse him regarding his mind. You would call him crazy. So اتهم is a فعل, and the فاعل is أنت. اتهمت. And then the who here is the مفعول به. You would accuse him. في عقله جار مجرور متعلق بالفعل. Right? Clear so far? And then he goes on to continue, starts off a new sentence. فالكلام طارئ. فالكلام, الكلام مبتدأ, طارئ خبر. Simple جملة اسمية. Oh boy, where did I go? Okay, here. فالكلام طارئ. So speech is incidental, it's contingent, it's accidental, like it depends on something to cause it, to bring it into existence. فالكلام طارئ يحدثه الإنسان لسبب يعرضه له. So you can see طارئ is نكرة بعدها الجملة. Again, يحدثه الإنسان this لسبب يعرض له. This whole thing is in the صفة bucket because this is connected to that. Is a صفة, and inside that صفة you have a جملة فعلية. أحدث يحدث. So يحدث, this is a فعل, and then the who here is the فاعل. So حدث is لازم, something to happen. حدث شيء, something happened. But أحدث, you take it to أسلم family, what happens? To make something happen, to bring about something. So الكلام طارئ, speech is contingent, it's incidental, it depends on something that human beings brings about for a specific reason that arises for him. That's what he's saying. Okay, so يحدثه الإنسان, this is our فاعل, right? Because the يحدث is a هو version, and then you look outside for an outside doer. So الإنسان is our outside doer. The human being brings about it. It brings it about. So the human being brings it about. لسبب يعرض له. For a reason, again, we've already done the إعراب of لسبب يعرض له. So جار مجرور, and then سبب is نكرة بعدها الجملة. So يعرض له is the صفة of لسبب, and then يعرض له, again, جملة فعلية, فعل, فاعل, and له is the متعلق بالفعل. And of course, يعرض comes with لام for the meaning that we are looking at here, for the meaning of demonstration. Yeah, because it has other meanings. It can come with ala for other meanings. Yeah, but the meaning we're looking for comes with lam. All right. And then he goes on to say ولذا, when we talked about لذا yesterday, you know, lam حرف جر, ذا اسم الإشارة, and therefore, or because of that, لم يسوي بينهما. لم, we talked about it, حرف جزم, and then يسوي فعل مجزوم, فعل مضارع مجزوم, and then the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو, and then بينهما متعلق بالفعل because بين is a special مضاف, and then of course ما here is هما is the attached pronoun which is the مضاف إليه of بين, together they form the متعلق بالفعل. And then you have بل, another حرف عطف which connects the previous sentence to that next one, and it means rather, or it depends on the usage. It could mean rather, it could mean instead, and so on and so forth. So then you have جاء. جاء is فعل ماضي. So this is our فعل. The فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة. This whole part is a متعلق بالفعل. So you can see لام حرف جار, دلالتي مجرور, على, دلالتي comes with على. We've talked about this so many times. And then على اسم مجرور, الحالة, على حرف جر, الحالة اسم مجرور, الثابتة صفة of الحالة. And together they all form the bucket of متعلق بالفعل in this case. And then you have بالاسم. جاء بالاسم. This ba goes back to جاء. So it was supposed to be جاء بالاسم للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة. But we now must recognize that this is how Dr. Fadel speaks, and also just normally how a lot of Arabs speak. They like to bring the متعلق بالخبر or بالفعل forward. So they would mention the متعلق before, you know, something else. So this is just how they speak. So جاء بالاسم للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة. All right, and of course this is our MBF as well. But this MBF goes to جاء. Okay. And then what is the ism? صامتون. بالاسم صامتون. All right. So صامتون here, you can look at it as بدل, or you can look at it as عطف بيان, because it's adding more clarification. What word? عطف بيان adds like more information of it, or you can even look at it as بدل what is it called? الاشتمال. بدل الاشتمال, or you can look at it as عطف بيان. All right. Then he goes on, واو حرف عطف, جاء, same structure, جاء للدلالة على الحالة الثابتة, جاء للدلالة على الحالة الطارئة بالفعل. So it's the same structure here, just being repeated, and the only thing that is changing is الطارئة and بالفعل. So here it was الثابتة بالاسم, the permanent, the established state with a noun, and the incidental state with a verb, with a contingent state with a verb, right? Is that clear so far? Any questions? Are we good? And of course, again, دعوتموهم here, same reasoning apply. It's going to be the بدل, or it's going to be the عطف بيان of الفعل. Fantastic, great. Now I have a question. Let's see. I have a question. So he said حال الطارئة. حال looks like masculine. الطارئة looks feminine. What's happening there? Before he said الحالة الثابتة, both feminine. And then here he came and jumbled up the order. What's happening? And I checked in his original, it's still like this. So what's going on here? Anybody has any ideas? We said it's موصوف صفة. موصوف صفة. Just like here, موصوف صفة. But it's not matching for properties. What's going on? Was this a question in anybody's mind or just my mind? Anyway, so this was a question. Yes, go on.
Strange.
Strange,
That is the
right?
answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to look this word up, and it turns out that actually grammatically, this word al-hal can be treated as both masculine and feminine. Can be
Really?
treated, yes. It can be treated as both masculine and feminine, and actually they prefer to use the feminine more than the masculine.
Really?
Yes.
That's strange.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you just have some words like this where, yeah. So you can say الحالة الطارئة, you can say الحال الطارئة. Just like if you
Okay.
say هذه الحال sounds better
Hmm.
to me than هذا الحال. When you just say هذه الحال, it's like, yeah, that sounds correct. But هذا الحال sounds a little bit off, even though both of them are correct. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he wants to emphasize. You add some additional words and then you want to put a little stressor.
Probably that, or he's just showing his, grammatical prowess, that he knows grammar, so he can use al-hala here and I can use al-hal here, and he will still be correct, and you and I would not know until we go and research. Because we thought,
Okay.
I thought this is a mistake. It's supposed to be al-hala al-tari'a. But now I realize that, of course, Dr. Fadil knows more grammar than I do. So,
Hmm.
yeah, respect.
I think he's just using it for a stressor to differentiate, maybe.
Eh,
And if
That
you want to
could
take a funny reason, maybe he wants the woman to be more attentive to it because they talk a lot.
Yeah,
Who
or
knows?
yeah, but then I don't see a reason to want to stress anything, because again he's just comparing two things. So he says on this side he brought an ism because it was a permanent situation, because silence is like a continuous established trait, as opposed
Hmm.
to calling. Calling is
Hmm.
continuous. Right. So he's just comparing those two. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know his reasons, to be honest. And maybe we are reading too much into this. Again, it could have been just he was just writing when he was writing and he didn't think too much about it. And here we are thinking on his behalf. So subhanAllah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're talking more as women, we should be quiet. I think he wants to say that.
Oh,
Let's take it that way. He's making a note to the woman. You woman, this is your
be
house,
quiet.
okay?
Yeah, because you talk a lot.
Yeah, as we are doing now.
Subhanallah. You overthink things and you are over talking about what I didn't even intend. Subhanallah. Yeah, well, an interesting observation or connection there. Thank you for that. All right. So then he goes on to say I. I means IE, meaning IE, you know. So he's explaining what he's talking about. أأحدثتم لهم دعاء أم بقيتم على حالكم من الصمت. يعني meaning, so now he's replacing this entire sentence with the equation that we had. What equation did we have? Is أدعوتموهم أم أنتم صامتون. Why would it call up? Anyway, the ayah that it was mentioned before, whether you call, you invite them, or you stay quiet. So it's like saying this. It's like saying أحدثتم لهم دعاء أم بقيتم على حالكم من الصمت. Yeah, whether you bring about an invitation to them or remained in your continuous, in your state of, like in your normal established state of silence, because that was your initial state. So what he's saying is that before you invited them, you were silent. To invite them, you need to break that silence to invite them. Okay? So now a reason has a reason for you to be able to invite them. So now he's saying whether you break your normal habit of silence or you remained in that same state of silence. That's what he's saying. Yeah. So in other words, if you did not, if you didn't invite them, you would still continue to be silent. You'd still be in your continuous normal state, established state of silence. So he's saying it's the same, whether you continue to be silent, continue in your state of silence, or whether you break that silence and call them, it's the same for them. It's the same. Oh, we were doing the i'rab, and then I went into discussion. Okay, so let's finish the i'rab. Hamzatu taswiya, we've discussed this before. أحدثتم, أحدث يحدث. We talked about this word. حدث to occur, أحدث to make something occur, to bring about. So, and of course, it is muta'addi, and that's why it comes with a pronoun, with an attached pronoun. أحدثتم لهم. No, sorry. Yeah, lahum here. Yeah, lahum. To them. Whether you bring it forth to them. So the fa'il here is antum. This is the fa'il and not the maf'ul bihi. What was I thinking? So that's the fa'il and the maf'ul bihi. Lahum متعلق بالفعل. Are you guys? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Now it moved. Okay. متعلق بالفعل. دعاء. Now this is our مفعول به, because whether you bring about what? You bring about an invitation, a calling, a request, no, not presentation, but a calling, yeah, or an invitation, yeah. Whether you bring about an invitation to them, or comes with hamza taswiya, and it is harf ataf also, so it's connecting this part of the sentence to that part of the sentence. بقيتم, بقى, بقي, يبقى. Okay. Or you remained, so this is a fa'il, and the fa'il is أنتم again. على حالكم جار مجرور متعلق بالفعل. حالكم من الصمت, من الصمت جار مجرور متعلق بحالكم, متعلق بحالكم. Okay. So your state of silence, or you remained in your state of silence, or from silence. But of in English makes more sense than from. I know somebody, if you hear of, immediately your brain goes to mudaf mudaf ilay, and then you look at me and you say, but it's not a mudaf mudaf ilay. Where's the mean? You know, so yeah, you can say from silence, but in English it makes more sense when you say your state of silence, right? And then he says جاء في الكشاف. So جاء it was mentioned or it came. في الكشاف متعلق بالفعل ومتعلق بجاء. في هذه الآية, again we've seen في, no problem Archie, we're just going to complete this sentence and then we'll stop there probably. We've now seen في being used as regarding, or like for example لاتهمته في عقله, you would accuse him regarding his mind. So the same thing here, في has the meaning of regarding, like جاء في الكشاف في هذه الآية, it came in الكشاف regarding this ayah. So again this is our متعلق بالفعل. في حرف جار, هذه اسم مجرور, الآية it's the مشار إليه like we landed, but of course إعراب wise it's a بدل, the بدل of هذه. So that's how you do هذه when it's اسم الإشارة المشار إليه, the اسم الإشارة like in this case it will be في محل جر اسم مجرور, and then الآية would be مجرور بدل of هذه, right? Like you can easily remove هذه and you say في الآية. Yeah, you can replace the two. عليكم السلام, جزاكم الله خير. All right, and then what came? What was mentioned? What is it that came? So جاء في الكشاف في هذه الآية. So this whole part is our فاعل of جاء, right? So this is what came. This is what was mentioned. This is what was found in Al-Kashaf. So this whole sentence or this whole argument, and it continues actually, it doesn't end here. It doesn't end at the end of the paragraph. It continues all the way to the end. So this whole part. So this whole part is our fa'il of ja'a. And we're going to look at the next part next week, but we can just finish this part. So inside the fa'il of ja'a, in qila, if it was said, in جملة شرطية here. So we see in أداة الشرط, قيل فعل شرط, all right, and it is مبني للمجهول ماضي مبني للمجهول, that's why you cannot see it مجزوم. If it was said this, so this هل قيل أم صمتم, all the way up to there. So this whole part is the مفعول به of قيل. If it was said this, the question then becomes, then what? If it's a جملة شرطية, we expect فعل شرط and جواب الشرط. So here, the جواب الشرط is محذوف. The جواب الشرط is understood. For example, if I said, if it was said, if let's say we're having a conversation and you give me options, and then I tell you, what about if it was said this? What am I asking? I'm asking, if this was said, what will happen? So we expected this sentence to be, if it was said, abracadabra. I'm just making up something here. The jawab would be, what would happen? Yeah? So, because I know you understand this jawab part, I can make it mahdoof. I can make it mahdoof. How can I make it mahdoof here? Let's see if I can make it mahdoof. I made it mahdoof. I tried to make it mahdoof. So now we're having a conversation, and then I said, if it was said abracadabra, and you automatically understand that, and then you will reply. You say, this is what would happen, right? So that's kind of what is happening in that sentence structure. And then now you enter inside the مفعول به, which is a strange sentence. It says هلا قيل. What is هلا? هلا is a combination of هل plus لا. So you have هل plus لا. هل is حرف الاستفهام and لا means no. And together they come to give the meaning of why not, right? Isn't, why not? So that's kind of like how it comes. And it's also, it comes together like this as a أداة الاستفهام, as a questioning word. هلا. Yeah. So you can use it. هلا صبرت. Like, هلا جلست. Yeah. Like, why not sit down? Why not stand? Why not come here? It's also a polite way of actually asking somebody to do something or mentioning something. So here is asking, why not say am صمتم? Why did Allah say am antum صامتون? Why not say am صمتم? Right? So that's what's happening there. And of course, am صمتم is the مفعول به مقول القول of قيل. Why not say what? am صمتم. Why not say am صمتم? Then you have واو حرف عطف. لما. لما, this lam is lam حرف جر, and then this ما is ما استفهامية. We know, how do we know that it is ما استفهامية? Because the alif disappeared. Normally when you have حرف جر before ما استفهامية, the alif after it disappears. So you have بما, لما, عما, حيثما, what else do we have? Whatever you can think of. You put any حرف جر before ما استفهامية, and then the alif kind of disappears, right? So لما, question. وضعت الجملة الاسمية. وضع, this is a فعل مبني للمجهول, and it's the here version. So الجملة الاسمية هي is the نائب الفاعل. Yeah, that's a نائب الفاعل. لما وضعت الجملة الاسمية موضع الفعلية. Yeah, so this, what is موضع? You can look at it as a ظرف. You can also look at it as مفعول به أو مفعول فيه. مفعول فيه, let's look at it as مفعول فيه. So موضع would be the مفعول فيه. موضع الفعلية, and of course الفعلية is the مضاف إليه of موضع. Any questions or clarifications?
Why there isn't a fee over here?
في where?
Or is it like that? Like في ماضية الفعلية in the place of fail.
Because موضع is a ظرف, it's a مفعول فيه. It's already a place, yeah. It's already like the place of. It means place, so it's a word of
Like,
place and time.
okay.
Yeah.
Like we are translating is that the jumla ismiya was placed.
Oh,
It
in
was
English you
put.
need the in. In
Yeah,
English you
yeah.
definitely need the in, yeah. But in Arabic you don't.
You don't. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, you can put it there, but you don't, because if you put it there, then fi to become jar majrur muta'alliq. But in this case, it's just مفعول فيه, not مفعول به, but مفعول فيه. Right?
It will be fihi, right?
Yeah, مفعول فيه.
Yeah. Okay. Sister Ilam, can you just repeat? I didn't get this part that you were saying.
Okay.
What were you saying about this?
So comes
Yeah,
with hamza to taswiya, with hamza al-istifham. So you have these
yeah,
sentences either or.
I got that. I got that.
Uh,
What
uh-huh.
you were talking about this? You were talking about the Something
عطف.
about yeah, no, what were you talking about this like shortening up of ism mausul and all?
Oh, lima, not
Oh, oh,
lima.
lima. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
When you have a
Okay.
harf jar and you want to
Mm-hmm.
bring it before a اسم استفهام ما استفهامية, then
Mm-hmm.
normally you would write it like this, right?
Yeah. Okay, okay.
But if it's ما استفهامية, you can't write it like this. You have to write it
Mm-hmm.
like this. So the same thing with be ma. You don't write it like this, you write it like this. That's why in the Quran,
Oh.
it's not ma, it's amma يتساءلون, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So حرف jar plus ma istifham, the alif goes away. Just that it's a writing thing to distinguish it from ma mawsula. If you see this, then this is mawsula. If you see this, it's istifham.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Just okay.
وإياكم. Unless you have another question, we can end there and we'll begin from the next paragraph, inshallah, next week. All right. سبحانك اللهم
No,
وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum assalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you in afia, rahma, naima. Always. Ameen. Summa ameen.
آمين يا رب العالمين.